G'day guys, how you going? Declan from Elross. Well, today is a big moment for a lot of people that have been waiting for a very long time for this. So this is our first hybrid van, and we're going to take you for a tour now, so stay tuned and find out more. Alright guys, so our version of a hybrid may be a little bit different to other manufacturers on the market, but it's our interpretation is for a hybrid caravan you want to stick as much into it as you can and it still be functional like a caravan, but have a lot of traits that and advantages that a pop top does as well. So probably the biggest difference between our normal ECX off-road and now our ECX hybrids is the width itself, and that comes down to the way that we develop the chassis. So if Naz grabs the tape measure here, well, he probably doesn't need to, the external width overall was 2050, so you know, it's a lot narrower than our normal width caravan, which you'll find that on a normal width caravan from us is 2300 plus your awning and all that sort of stuff on the outside. So it's about 250 mil narrower overall, once you account those factors in as well. So the basis of the hybrid is that the van is narrower, so you can get down to tracks that you might not ordinarily be able to get a caravan, but you're still retaining some features of what a caravan is for, which is the height and also the off-road capability as well. So in terms of sizes as well, the ECX Hybrid series is based on a smaller platform, so there's nothing bigger than a 17.5 foot. This one's a 17 foot van. And we go down to a 15-foot single axle as well. So in terms of the range of sizes in the hybrid series, it's a lot smaller and a lot less in terms of options there. But the main feature of why we do that as well is because when you're working with a narrower platform as well, you still need to make sure that you're keeping the balance of the performance of the van realistic as well. And not only that, with the full height versions of the hybrid here as well, if you really go any longer than a 17-foot van, they start looking a little bit funny on the road personally. They look like a bit of a loaf of bread driving behind a tow vehicle, so that's sort of why we cap it off as well at the 17-foot mark. Now pretty much a lot of the features that you'll find on the hybrid series are crossover items from the ECX itself. So realistically you've got to look at this platform as that it is an ECX van, but it's just on a smaller platform basically and a narrower width. But standard features in the hybrid series is it comes standard with Cruisemaster's XTF airbag, and that's the level 3 manual system. So that is a standard fit. Also other features that it does come with is the Truma combi D6 diesel or gas combi unit as well. And they're just a couple of extra features that we've added as standard to the hybrid series because that's mostly what this van is about, is the off-grid capability. Now another thing as well is you get the off-grid package as standard on the ECX Hybrid as well. So that comes with 600 watts of solar on your roof, and it also comes with the 400 amp hour battery system and also the 3000 watt red arc inverter running through our mains changeover switch as well. So you can run all of the 240 in the van off the battery system if you so choose, including your aircon and all the other sort of power points that are located around the van. One of the other challenges that we faced coming up with the hybrid series and the narrower chassis is obviously underneath the chassis area we've been really restricted with space. So it's been quite a challenge to fit the airbag system, compressor, air tank, large water tanks under there as well. So for that reason on this model we have two 120 litre water tanks, but you can upgrade to one 160 litre water tank, and then the other one will have to be a 120. So the maximum sort of capacity, especially on this 17-foot model, is around 280 litres of water holding. It's a little bit hard to try and squeeze that much more under there. So one of the things that we have done to try and gain a little bit more room is we've actually relocated the air tank and the compressor into the central zone of the tandem axle suspension, and we've had to develop a new bash guard to suit that as well. So, but it's quite tightly packaged, but it's also maximising and making the most of the undercarriage space under your van. Now moving on to outdoor living, obviously on the hybrid model, outdoor living is going to be a key primary focus for most customers that are going for this platform. So there's not much cooking inside, you're going to do mainly most of your cooking outside as well. So this particular unit here, the customer's gone for our 2-burner gas and sink combination, and they haven't asked for anything else on there. So that's one of the options there. The other option, which we will cut to now, is the Elross slide-out kitchen with the induction cooktop and the Sizzler Max barbecue option as well. So you've got that there that you can also spec into this. Being a hybrid model, inside, when we go inside later on, you'll see that there is a king bed that's up the front, so that means you can't walk around the bed. But what it does mean is it gives you a lot more storage space for outdoor tunnel boots and all that sort of stuff. So you do get a second tunnel boot in the hybrid as standard, but then you can option up to put extra slides in there as well. So this client here has gone for a fridge at the back, and they asked us to just do a little storage box on the front here as well. So you can store a heap of stuff in there, and then you can just lock it up and use it as a bit of bench space when you want as well. So quite handy usage of space there. As we roll around further to the front, the hybrid series comes with a standard Elross fitted toolbox as standard. This customer's asked for a Weber tray slide there as well. They've also optioned up a wood box on top here, and they've also optioned, which is new on the hybrid range and other ECX models as well, is we've got the Max Tracks kit there that we can fit to the front of the van, so they've optioned that up as well. They've gone for 2 jerry can holders on the front of the toolbox, which is an option. The stone guard is standard. They've supplied the Izzy bike rack, which is the extreme duty. It's a really cool bit of gear. We don't supply these, so you would have to supply this in terms of if we were going to fit that for you. So you have to supply that. We won't supply it as part of the build. This is the combi diesel tank to fill it up as well, that we've manifested on the front there. And then obviously a tray in here for a gen set as well that you can just put away or store other stuff as well. Little tunnel boot on the other side of the slide out kitchen. And then another little small box boot as well, but that's where we store the Hydra Pro as well for that. And then we come on to the vent here for the Truma D6 diesel unit. And then a couple of other little features as well is just hiding under here is the solar input for the for your solar in if you want to feed in a little bit more solar power to the van. Customers also spec'd an outdoor shower, and they also asked for a light over the external shower there as well, so that wasn't a problem. And then we've got our Elross valved filler system as well. And then there's actually another solar Anderson plug there on the back as well. And that's just a power out. Now, if Naz zooms in just above the wheels, he'll see that we've actually fitted on this van a steady rock light. Now that's something that the customers also specced into this build. It's not something we actually offer as an option currently, but we're going to evaluate it on this van and see how the customer likes it and how it's responded by you guys as well, if you'd like to see that on your van. So comment below if that's something that you might be interested in, because we're sort of gauging whether to have that as an option on the van or not as well. Now the other big thing that is new on this van that we have to show in a little more detail is we've got our first Starlink pass-throughs that we're fitting onto the vans now as well. So that's quite cool. We've come up with this solution with another company. They're supplying us the gear, and then what we're doing is you order the Starlink, you drop it off to us with all the wiring and all that sort of stuff. We then wire in the van Cat 6A, and then basically we'll cut your Starlink cable and we'll put a Cat 6A plug on the end of it. So you can still run your 12 or 13 meters of wiring out here. You can either mount it to the rooftop mount there, or you can mount it to your standard mount that the hardware comes with, and you can mount it 10, 15 meters away from the caravan if you need to. And then in terms of inside the van, we've just got a wall socket that's got a Cat 6A on it as well. And then you can just plug your Starlink straight into that and away you go. So nice and neat, nice and simple, and really basically it gives you total freedom of where you want to locate your satellite dish as well. So yeah, so we've come up and worked hard on that to come up with that solution for something neat, because previous to that people were just having to run the cable outside their window or outside their door with the risk of crushing cables and all that sort of stuff. So this solution's is a game changer, and it's really nice and neat as well, which is obviously what we want to focus on as a business most of the time as well. All right, so now we've covered off pretty much everything on the outside. I'm sure I've probably missed something because this van's got that many features into it, but we'll take a little trip inside now so we can show you how compact it is, and actually we've fitted quite a bit of gear in this van as well. So as we jump up into here, I'll walk down the front if Naz follows us in. Now obviously the first thing you'll notice is it's obviously quite a lot more restricted in terms of width and space. So that's why I said before, you won't have the room in one of these vans to have a walk around bed or anything like that. This is just the nature of the beast of the hybrid series. So this is a king bed, but what we've actually done is we've split the bed into two, because quite frankly, could you imagine trying to get a king bed into this van, into this small space? It would be a mission, and B, it would be really difficult to try and change the sheets on your bed like that. So actually the customer suggested this early days, and it soon became apparent that it was going to be necessary on this model anyway as well. So it is a king bed, but it's essentially two king singles slammed together. You still got enough room where it's easy to lift it up and make the bed. So that was the primary purpose and design behind going for the split bed there as well. We've made a couple of nooks that are on the sides there, so you still get that sort of caravan feeling about it in terms of your side storage and nooks. And what we've also done is we've done these nice neat 3D printed Anderson plug covers, because the customer in this van has CPAP machines that are on Anderson plugs. So we've got two either side there. I don't know if Naz can zoom in on that or not. But yeah, so we fitted that into the van. Also the heater unit is down that end as well to control the temperature flow for the combi D6. Batteries are just located under bed, because obviously in this small van it's very hard to sort of manifest an appropriate amount of space for everything in here. And then another thing that obviously sticks out when Naz pans around as well is the customer on this particular van asked for a stainless steel bench top. Now we very rarely have done that. Obviously in a lot of food trailers and commercial stuff that we've done in the past, we've certainly fitted those sorts of things, but not on a actual recreational vehicle before. So that does add a little bit more weight, of course, being stainless steel. And obviously they're the little things that we try and do to sort of cater for what you're looking for in the van as well. So yeah, so we fitted that. Quite interesting color scheme. This is called caramello as the seating. I think it actually flows quite well with the stainless steel and the timber and the concrete floor, but I personally probably wouldn't have that in my particular van. So probably another thing about the hybrid series and what we're trying to impress on the general public is there's that requirement now where a lot of vans that you're going to see in the next couple of years are going to be gasless. So that was our key focus on developing this hybrid model, is we want to encourage customers to go for electric or diesel if possible. We still have the gas options there, so if you still want to run the combi unit on gas, you can. But definitely in terms of the internal cooking, induction's the way to go, especially with the off-grid package. And also the diesel combi unit's very efficient in terms of its diesel usage as well. Being a storage unit as well, it provides hot water in a fairly fast and efficient manner. And you don't get those diesel smells that are associated with diesel systems. Obviously in the first couple of hours of its life, there will be that residual burn off where you'll get a bit of a diesel smell, and that's unavoidable, but for the most part they're fantastic units. So yeah, we see that as the future of the industry so far, and especially in this hybrid sector as well. One of the other things that we've done in this van as well, obviously rooftop space, not only the undercarriage space that we were talking about outside the van, but the rooftop space is at a premium as well. So we've done a couple of different things there as well. So we've done a small 400 by 400 roof hatch, and we've also fitted the caravan up in the section where you'd normally have an overhead cupboard. So that now becomes just a shelf space. So you do lose a little bit there, but that's so we can ensure that we can fit the amount of solar that that caravanners demand now of off-grid systems. So trying to squeeze the 600 watts of solar up on the roof on a small 17-foot platform on a narrow width is very hard to achieve. So we've had to do some things differently there to make sure that that's achievable. Alright, so moving on to the back of the van where there's quite a bit of gear. As you can see, there's not much free space in this van, so it's been jam-packed full of joinery, so you're not going to be short on storage space. Customers gone for our half style pantry here as well. There's another drawer here, and then up above a couple of shelf spaces there as well. But wait, there's more. Then they've gone for another pantry here as well, which is facing this way, so it's easy to access when you're outside the van. And then same thing, just another cupboard here. Fridge is facing, with the doors facing out this way as well, same thing, so you can access it when you're outside if you need to. And then up in here we've managed to even squeeze a washing machine as well. So like I said before, this van has got a lot of features into it for such a small platform and a small space. Malenko door blind is here as well, which is quite a popular option. I think if you're building with us, that's a strong suggestion, just no brainer. Sort of gives you a bit more privacy, very easy to use. Yeah, so that's one thing that I would suggest to go for. Obviously with the rest of the package that's in this van, we're pretty flexible with colours and design. We've got 9 colour schemes to choose from out of our range, so if you can't find something in there, then yeah, I'm not sure of another manufacturer that offers that many varieties of colour options. So we're pretty flexible as well in terms of if you want to chop and change where those colours go in your van as well. So if you'd like more information on this unit or any other ECX or ECXR product or out of our family range, please just shoot the office an email on info@elross.com.au, or you can get in touch with us 089356 6153, and we are a small business, so we aren't generally open on weekends. So if you do want to make an appointment, it will have to be during the week, unfortunately. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this tour, and we'll see you on the next video.